Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod. I'm here to talk about Survivor Season 45, Episode 3, titled No Man Left Behind. Last week on Survivor, the Yellow Lulu tribe went to Tribal Council for the second time in a row. This time they actually voted with paper, and nemesis to ladders everywhere, Brandon was voted out. Before I dive in, if you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Also, I post my videos and playlists on my page, so if you ever miss an episode or want to go back to the beginning, just go look at it there. So let's get into it. The Yellow Lulu tribe comes back from Tribal Council. Sabiyah says that in the Marines they have a motto, no man left behind, and she already said the thing. In the previous episode, Emily had given Sabiyah her shot in the dark to hold onto. Sabiyah gives it back to her to build that trust back with Emily. Emily smartly notices that there were only 3 votes in the urn, so she speculates that someone other than Brandon had also lost their vote. Caleb acknowledges that Emily is going back to her confrontational ways, but he's kind of living for it. At the Blue Bellow tribe, Jake is blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing onto the fire, and then he falls face first onto the smoke. It's a scary moment, and they really played this up in the trailer like there was going to be a medevac this episode, but nothing really comes of it. He kind of just flops onto the ground. But Kendra did witness him falling, and Kendra and Jake go to the well where she tells him she was targeting him originally, but now she feels protective over him because he fell. They form a little 2-person alliance, and he tells her that he wants to go out drinking with her after this, so I guess it's official. It's something serious now. They've got plans. At Red Reba, they have a crab in their pot. Austin gets back to his 3-episode idol hunt with Drew as his accomplice. Drew and Austin split up. While they're gone, Dee and Julie discuss the boys having a tight 2 alliance outside of their 4. Julie and Dee end up catching Drew digging for the idol. Drew tells the ladies that they're looking for an idol because Sifu was looking for an idol. Dee says that she doesn't trust the 2 guys and it feels like she just caught a boyfriend cheating on her. We get to a reward challenge. The red and the blue teams seem shocked that Brandon, who couldn't climb a ladder or solve puzzles, was voted out. They have to race from the water to the beach, shoot a ball onto a track, and then run through obstacles to catch the ball. Then the ball will unlock a ring toss, where they have to get 3 rings on the ring toss. The first place tribe will win a giant fruit basket and the ability to send one member to raid another tribe's camp. J Maya gets visibly emotional looking at the fruit basket. Second place gets a tiny edible arrangement, and third place gets nothing. The yellow team gets off to a strong start with Caleb really crushing it. Emily and Katora really wipe out the hardest, tripping on the wires in the ball challenge. In the ring toss, Caleb smashes it, he wins it for yellow, and then Golden Child Austin gets 3 rings to win the little fruit basket for red. The Lulu tribe picks Caleb as the representative to go raid one tribe's camp. They decide to pick Caleb. As he's going to his boat to leave, Caleb gets a goodwill advantage that he can give to somebody on the tribe he's visiting to give them their vote back if they had lost their vote. This advantage was okay. It wasn't overpowered. It adds a little bit of a twist to the game. There were a lot of things that required a little bit more explaining on this episode, but at least it's 90-minute episodes. So Caleb decides to go to the red tribe. The red tribe performs a rock song for Caleb, including Sifu on the guitar and J Maya on screamo vocals. The editors actually do a good job of scoring this from behind, but I don't think it would crack my top 5 Survivor musical moments. Caleb has to pick one thing to steal from the tribe, so he picks their fishing gear. Caleb decides to have HOH one-on-ones with members of the tribe where he tells Dee that she has great eyes. He gives Julie a big hug where he pulls her head into his chest. Drew ends up telling Caleb that he has safety without power, which seems like a big mistake. Like, why would you tell someone that? But because of the sharing of information, Caleb does end up giving the advantage to Drew. The yellow Lulu tribe are enjoying their feast. Sean is excited to not be the Lulu losers. Emily is really impressing her tribe with her new vibe. When Emily walks away, Sean and Sabiyah scheme and plot against Caleb. Emily comes back and they fill her in on the scheming. Emily is shocked and she says that she's not sure that Caleb knows he's being seen as such a threat, as the camera cuts to him doing chef's kiss about his grapes. At Blue Bellow, the men go out to fish. While they're away, the ladies meet to strategize. They decide that because Kendra had a good conversation with Jake, that they'd rather vote out Bruce over Jake, and Katora is thrilled. Kelly goes to talk to Brando, who she says is her #1 ally, to decide between the guys and the girls. The show leaves it a mystery what they conclude. On Red, Austin finally tells the girls about the Beware advantage, but he's still lying about the timeline of events. Dee and Julie decide to help them look. How is this idol so hard to find? They're all looking and looking. Dee uses her toe magic to find a rope buried in the sand. At the end of the rope, Julie and Dee find a hammer that has another clue written on it. The hammer says to smash a rock near the well, and it was interesting to me that they decided to give this hammer back to Austin given how much he's been lying to them. They could have kept the clue to themselves, but also they definitely eventually would have been caught. So whatever, Austin has the hammer, he goes to the well and he breaks a bunch of rocks. Eventually, he finds the idol in one of the rocks, and the idol has complicated conditions. It's only good for one tribal council unless he risks 1 vote. If he risks a vote, then it'll be good until the merge, and if he risks 2 votes, then it will be good until final 5 like a regular idol. So it's confusing. It was confusing when they explained it. It's confusing when I explain it, but he also has the goodwill advantage, so he really only has to risk 1 vote. I felt like this 4-person alliance between Drew, Julie, Dee, and Austin Austin was on shaky ground, but now that they all work together to find this idol, I feel like it's really real. We get to the immunity challenge. They need to roll a cart through some obstacles, collect keys. The keys will help them to get puzzle pieces along the way. Then they have to take the cart apart, put it through a wall, put the cart back together. Then they have to complete the puzzle, which is a big cube. Julie, Dee, Brando, and Kelly sit out of the challenge. They're pretty neck and neck until the disassembling part, where the blue tribe really pulls ahead and the red tribe really falls behind. Bruce gets frustrated with his tribe and someone shouts out, "You need to talk a different way." Red ends up coming from behind and winning first place. Before blue even finishes and comes second, they already start playing sad music because yellow is so far behind. They're so focused on yellow losing prematurely that blue kind of just wins in the background. The two winning tribes go back to their camps. Yellow hangs back with Jeff to have a breakdown on their mat. So they go back to camp. Caleb thinks Sean and Sabiyah are gonna go after Emily. Sabiyah plans to throw her idol candle into the fire and hope that it melts at tribal council. So here's where I have an issue with this. You should not be allowed to throw this thing into the fire at tribal council. For the sheer reason that they refer to it as a candle, you should have to burn it from the wick and wait for it to burn. I don't know, maybe I'm a candle purist, but there's one way to burn a candle. I would be okay with someone at tribal council walking nicely over to the torches or to the fire and lighting the wick and sitting there with the candle and filibustering until the candle burns down. Anyways, Sabiyah and Sean still want Emily to vote for Caleb, and they tell Emily about the candle, which shows her that Sabiyah has been lying to her the whole time. Emily then goes to Caleb and tells Caleb to vote for Sabiyah because Sabiyah is targeting Caleb. Caleb doesn't 100% believe Emily, and as a viewer, I didn't think he ever would. At tribal council, Sabiyah comes in and throws her idol right into the fire. Jeff is loving watching it melt. There's some tribal council conversation, but you really can't pay attention to the conversation because all you're worried about is the idol in the fire. Even Jeff isn't really present during this conversation. They'll talk for like a minute and then Sabiyah will get up and be barbecuing her idol. They end up pulling the idol out of the fires. Sabiyah tells Jeff that she's not going to touch the idol. She's going to let it cool down for safety, and Jeff loves safety. His eyes light up. Once the idol has cooled down, she says she can't wait to see what's inside. Sabiyah's idol does have a note on it that she finds out as she's voting. Her idol had the same conditions as Austin's idol, which makes my life easier. I'm not explaining it again. So she has to decide as she's voting if she's going to sacrifice her vote. We get to the votes. 1 vote for Sabiyah, 1 vote for Caleb, and the third vote and third person voted out is Sabiyah. So Sabiyah ended up sacrificing her vote and then getting voted out with the idol in her pocket before it even cooled down. So we have to say goodbye to Sabiyah here, which was really shocking to me. I really got a good first impression with her, mostly from her tone of voice. I felt like she was a really interesting character and a very disarming person. She came into the tribe really as a leader, but more in the provider kind of way than in a bossy way. She really contributed to the bronze aspect of the tribe and helped them to really set up their camp. Her contributions to the tribe in challenges and at camp were really pros for her, and the fact that she had really strong bonds with Sean and with Caleb earlier in the game. The biggest cons here for Sabiyah are, number 1, luck. Her tribe sucks at challenges, and that's mostly not her fault, that's circumstantial, but she also had to not be good at puzzles for them to continuously lose every single immunity. So she contributed to the suck. Also, I don't think risking her vote in this tribal council was the worst thing that she did. Really, the worst thing was turning on Caleb. How, if you can't win any immunity challenges, are you going to vote out the one person who's crushing all the challenges for your team? Their argument to try to vote out Caleb at this juncture because he's a threat is so insane to me. My biggest regret is we never got to see her purple terry cloth pajama suit from her promo pictures on the show. Overall, I'm left feeling like she's one of the more memorable early boots in the new era. I definitely could see her coming back for a second chance this season, especially after the candle debacle. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Next week, we get a tribe swap, and thank God, that should be fun and keep things interesting. Like I said earlier, if you like these videos and don't want to miss the next one, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back later this week to talk about Big Brother and the Challenge USA. Other than that, I hope you have a good week. Bye.